Peep game. The movie starts us off with our protagonist, Al Simmons, running into a Chinese air traffic station and murdering all of these guards. Michael J. White hit this nigga with the heftiest kick he could possibly muster, then sprays the rest of them down with an MP5. He sets up this portable missile launcher, locks onto a commercial aircraft in this landing strip, and launches one of these bitches straight at Muhammad's head. Look at these people's reaction to this missile flying towards them. Why is bro pulling out his sidearms? You can practically hear the wallahi through the screen. Takes off the mask for just to assert the aura, and blows the entire traffic control unit to smithereens. Now, the next scene introduces the two major villains of this film. Wen, who is Al Simmons' boss, the head of CIA, responsible for multiple heinous black ops, and the second most important antagonist, the Violator, aka the Clown, one of Satan's greatest soldiers. Now, the Violator is trying to convince Wen to create a biological weapon for some reason. In return, he'll get riches and success, the regular deal with the devil shit. But right before the Clown leaves, he requests one more thing: for Wen to kill his best agent, Al Simmons. So when Al walks in the next day looking to quit, this is an absolutely perfect opportunity. He tells bro he can quit right after this last job, and if he doesn't do it, the safety of America could be at fundamental risk. So he folds, gets peer pressured, and goes to South Korea, somewhere in Korea. It just says a Korean village. So he takes out a couple agents and gets deeper into the facility before he realizes that something isn't quite right, as he sees two guards laid out on the floor and bomb strapped to the tanks containing the bioweapons. When Wen randomly pops out, Al asks him what exactly is going on here. He can't just explode a plant full of bioweapons next to a town of 8,000 people. But that was exactly the plan, as they'll be test subjects for the experimental weapon. Al tries to up the pole on Wen, but his bodyguard turns bro's legs into Swiss cheese, walked over to him and put some boot taste in his mouth. And to top it all off, Shawty then drains her fluids onto this man, Al Simmons, giggling frantically the entire time. Wen threatens to pipe Al's wife before throwing this dirty ass black and mild, igniting whatever the fuck she sprayed on him earlier, burning Al Simmons to a crisp and completely incinerating the chemical plant. Now, he wakes up 5 years later in this random abandoned building, completely and absolutely disfigured. This nigga looks like prime Wade Wilson, with the Violator standing directly over top of him, staying true to his name.
I told him, well done, not good.
Stumbles through Crime Alley, trying to figure out what exactly happened to him, when he finally interacts with this guy who is basically the same exact character as that old nigga from Ghost Rider 1. He goes to check on Wanda and his kid, only to come to the horrifying revelation that his partner of 20 years has been giving Wanda the filthiest backshots this entire time. Bro is dead for 5 years and your best man's is putting babies in your wife, gang.
No. Wait.
His daughter finds him hiding behind some bushes and offers him some candy with absolutely no self-preservation instinct whatsoever. Was never taught the concept of stranger danger. So Wanda catches this entire scene and thinks he's here for a cupcake.
Oh, I was actually coming out here to pick up a cupcake and then go back home.
But before the police can be called, the Violator scoops him up and takes him back to Crime Alley, informs my boy about the basic plot of the movie. He got killed by Wen and sent to hell, where Malbolgia, the stand-in for Satan because they're too pussy to just use Satan, gives him a premium package deal. He gets to go back to Earth and see Wanda, as long as he becomes the general to Malbolgia's army. Why, you might ask? It's because he's the top scoring killer of all time. This nigga has more bodies than Genghis Khan and the Bay Harbor Butcher combined. That nigga is the LeBron of murder. They explicitly tell us how there's a war between heaven and hell. So Malbolgia literally had him killed so he couldn't be drafted to the opposite team. Bro took the deal and got sent back to Earth, with his sole objective being to kill Wen and avenge his own murder.
Fail me, you will die.
When he comes to and remember what happened, he activates the Spawn suit and plots on how to get his revenge on Wen. But before he does, he's confronted by the old Spawn, warning him not to go along with Malbolgia's plans. But Spawn says fuck all that and goes to break into the old CIA base he used to work at, strapping up on every firearm he can find in the place. Wen has finally completed all of the testing for the bioweapon and intends on getting a group of foreign leaders to agree with his plans. At some point, he's planning to release the virus all over the planet and only sell the cure to people that agree with him. And just as he's about to make this deal, Spawn crashes through the ceiling like this nigga's Batman or something. He lands and hits a Ghost Rider emote and grips Wen up before throwing him across the room, throws in a sternum kick as a little cherry on top, and immediately turns his attention to his old partner, which would have been my first stop, honestly. But before he can start emptying magazines, he gets interrupted by Wen's bodyguard, Priest. And if you couldn't tell by the last scene this bitch was in, she is incredibly psychotic. She is running drills on this entire party of random guests. She ends up making bro look like loose leaf paper, but his necroplasm heals his injuries, and he goes to perform what can only be described described as an Arkham tactic, as he tries to do a stealth takedown when Priest throws out a kick to counter, catches that shit with the dead belt. She gets ragged out and sent to the great beyond.
You don't have the guts.
But during this entire commotion, somebody called 12, so the SWAT team rolls in and turns this entire scene into a war zone. They had Spawn on some Frank Castle shit for a second. He gets to the outside of the building and flies away to go aura farm on some random ledge. The Violator shows up in the aftermath of the party to make sure Wen has upheld his end of the deal and made the bioweapon, and then summons over the Huz just to flex apparently. But this nigga Wen is such an absolute supervillain. He gets the detonator for the virus surgically implanted inside of his body, which means if his heart stops for any reason, the entire planet has to deal with monkeypox. Around this time, our main character Spawn is receiving a little bit of character development as he goes to creep on his former family once again. The dog ends up following him and the family doesn't care for some reason. When he gets back to Crime Alley, he sees the kid that woke him up earlier with his dad.
Tastes fine to me. You think we eat so good you can just spit up what you like, huh?
No.
No, don't talk back to me. Talk back to me. Talk back to me.
After witnessing this child get backhand, he almost ends this man's life, but is stopped at the last second. He goes back up into the armory and starts strapping up to deal with Wen once and for all. Spawn figures out that the clown sent Wen to kill him in the first place, so he grips bro up and tries to violate the Violator. And this nigga immediately tries to kill his dog, but gets hit with a hip fire, preventing him from crushing Spaz to death. But the clown is a literal demon, so he gets up and explains to Spawn why they call him the Violator.
I'm not the vindicator, or the victimizer, or the vaporizer, or the vibrator. I'm a violator!
Spawn prevents himself from being molested further by spraying rounds. The clown performs a flash step and starts hiding, forcing bro to play this cat and mouse game until the Violator uses the dog's collar as a trap and tosses that nigga into a spiked fence. And while my boy Spawn is impaled on this gate, the Violator is making it clear that he's about to go pipe his wife.
Either you lead the army or win place, pin the tail on Wanda. Hey, Wanda, come on, how about give me some of that sweet stuff, baby? Oh, no. Oh, please, Win, Joe, please. Somebody help me now.
Why is everybody trying to get at Wanda? And right as this happens, the old Spawn shows up and gives him like a pep talk and a training montage. And I don't understand how long this could possibly be because the Violator said he was on his way to go pipe his wife. You're gonna have like a 3-hour training session after a nigga threatened your family. So he gets this actually random motorcycle. And for some reason, there's a bike chase with the Violator and a waste truck. But what is this even happening for? Shouldn't bro already be at his house by now? It's even funnier when you remember the fact that he can teleport. The Violator is shown, his whole thing is teleport. Wen goes to Ao's house and holds his family hostage, so maybe the Violator is just buying time for him to get that shit done. Either way, Spawn is in hot pursuit of the clown. Bro starts lobbing these weak ass grenades off the top of the truck, forcing Spawn to take a page out of Johnny Blaze's book. Supercharging the Harley successfully defends against enemy projectiles, till he gets hit with the oldest trick in the book, an oil slick, takes a nasty L, and has to perform a critical ore recovery technique. See, after you saw the swag walk, the oil slick didn't matter, did it? But remember, Wen is still already at his house. Now, Wen slides into the crib and starts threatening the entire family, but he gets awfully close to Wanda's husband with this long-range firearm. Tells bro, don't be a hero. He's standing way too close for you not to be able to just take the gun. I just never understand that in movies. Like, the closer you are with a gun, the less effective the gun is. Unless it's like pressed against the back of your skull or something. Wen and the Violator set up this trap where they try to use Wanda as leverage. But the thing is, Wen doesn't know that Malbolgia and the clown are plotting on his downfall. They want him to die so that the bioweapon can be spread throughout the earth and make way for his army. So when he stabs Wanda in front of Spawn, I could at least understand a little bit, because maybe you thought the Violator or Malbolgia would protect you. But really, what was the plan? After you stabbed his wife in front of him, what did you think he was gonna do? Well, he turns around and hits him with one of those Michael J. White specials. Has this nigga fly into a whole nother room with his kid inside. As soon as he gets gripped up, Wen starts starts bitching, talking about how he can't die because if his heart stopped, the world ends, and yada yada yada. So my boy Spawn throws him directly into the fire pit, lets him get up before knocking bro back down, and is this close to smashing that nigga's head like a pumpkin until he realizes his daughter is looking him directly in the face. So he doesn't go through with it and somehow uses this tractor beam vision to take the device out of Wen's heart and still doesn't kill him for some reason. But as he goes to check on Wanda, the bitch starts moving. Turns out it was the clown all along. He pins Spawn to the wall with a demon blade to the neck, snaps his fingers and brings the real Wanda to the living room.
I'm gonna let you watch too. Tastes like chicken.
What did I just see? What did I just...
The old head shows up out of nowhere and hisses for some reason and forces the clown to scurry back to the demon realm. He manages to pull the knife out of Spawn's neck before they both get dragged to hell by the clown. And this is possibly the blurriest, most weirdly contrasted scene I've ever watched in my life. Maybe whatever I'm watching is low quality, or maybe it's because it's 1997, but this shit is, I don't know what's going on. But as far as I can tell, the Violator is getting absolutely jumped. Spawn ends up stabbing the Violator in the neck in front of the crowds of hell, but after telling Malbolgia that he will not join his army, fuck out of here, fuck, he gets the entire army of Spawn sent after him. Somehow does another one of these random ass abilities, and it one-shots a bunch of these niggas. When did bro unlock that skill tree? But ultimately he's outnumbered, so he just grabs old head and flies upward out of hell. And damn, is it really that easy to leave hell? Seriously? They return to Earth and have this like weird moment. Throughout this entire movie, he does not talk to his wife once. I'm like, so he does not talk to his wife one time in this entire movie, before or after becoming Spawn. Literally, when they first introduced the character of Wanda, she's only talking to his partner. They relax a little bit, everybody was cowering in this corner, till the Violator pops back up, tries to use his extendo jaw to gobble up Spawn, but gets his head impaled from the inside, and then gets that bitch sawed off, turning the Violator into a puddle. So Wen goes to prison, his partner keeps deep stroking his wife, and the movie ends with him aura farming on top of this building. If you want to see when Hulk was actually incredible, watch this video. Besides that, like, subscribe, and